Hello and welcome to how I play my level 80 Bard. So let's just jump right into this. We're going to talk about spells, talk about anything that's changed in the Multibind. I'm probably just going to focus on just talking about the Multibind this time. Nothing else has changed up here. And anything else, probably gear, we'll talk about that a little bit too. So first up, we have Aria of the Artist. This is our overhaste and spell buff that we get. This is increases the spell damage of our companion spells by 29%. This decays on spells over 80, level 80, right? So at level 81 we will get a new version of this, so that's keep in mind. And then the overhaste is 25%. I don't think that ever changes. Next up, I have Chorus of Restoration, which is just our AoE group mana regen thing. So this one is the point blank AoE, hits everybody in the thing. It's just whatever I mimed at the time. War March of the Meldrath is our haste that we're using here. It's song number 3. Increases attack speed by 60%. Strength by 100, attack by 54, and gives a 34-point damage shield. The haste is less important at this point, as I get haste from the shaman, but I like to keep it up just in case something goes wrong, right? And then next up I have 4 chants. Now these are new to the spell. At level 80 we got 2 new song slots, so we can have 12 songs total, which was like real confusing to me because I didn't think we got those until like 105 or so that's kind of nice. But here you can see we got all 4 chants here. They do about, looks to be like 490 damage per, right? And they also lower resists of the chant thing that they do, right? So if this one does fire, poison, whatever, right? So I mean, it lowers them all by 29, so they're nice to have. And we'll show how I put this into the melody that we use to do this, but I have all 4 of them memorized. And then we have Arcane Anthem here. This is a additional bonus damage. It's 4 charges every tick, right? Every song sing, right? 4 charges that add damage to the spells. Now, let me go to one of my characters so you can see the damage. This guy doesn't have them. Spell damage here. What is this? This is Hobbs. All right, so this is my Shadow Knight. Let's see, where is it at? I guess it's not there. All right, what we'll do real quick, I'll just show the damage on this thing. So go here, sing that one song. I think it's like 1500 damage extra. All right, so there we go. We'll do Touch of the Soul Beater. Took 1 charge, 1521. So that adds 1521, 4 charges of that, to everybody in the group's spells. Pretty significant, and it can crit on its own. So definitely significant number there. Now I have the new, whatever the latest Mez is. Mez is up to 83. As you know, in this series, I don't Mez, but I did update my buttons to the new spell slot. So there, but I don't Mez. I don't even lull pull. I just pull. It just works. I don't know. But I do have the lull memorized also, and then I have Invis memorized just in case I need it. And then finally, I have Karara's Spirited Crescendo, which is just another mana regeneration spell. So these are the spells the songs I use, the spells I use, whatever I want to call them. I do use Aura of the Artist here, which is it's the same as Aria of the Artist, but it's an aura that I don't have to worry about casting. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because the way my melody works out, there is a drop on some of these spells and they don't last the full duration. You can't really observe it here in the guild hall because they stay at max duration, right? aria is like 28 seconds, so it's just the way I have the melody to get the chants in there. It, something drops off, but the aura kind of always has that going as long as everybody's close to the bard, right? Now we can go kind of into this, right? So I have not changed anything here. The assist button's the same, everything's the same. I changed the melody. Now the melody looks a little complex, but the gist of it is this. So I do aria, and then I do chant of flame, and then I do chorus of restoration, chant of poison, war march, frost chant, arcane anthem, poison or disease chant, right? And then I repeat that. So what is that? 8. So 8, 7, and then 1. So 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, 8, 7. And then I do that 3 times. And then I do Spirited Crescendo. Now you'll notice that I took out cellos out of our spell list. Cellos was actually turned into an AA. Activate 3704. You can see here, where is it at? Class, cello sonata. Here it becomes here. There is a spell you can buy in Licinium that allows you to use the highest, an even higher rank of it. But we got this at level 76. I didn't notice it until level 80. But definitely phenomenal. Now I don't have to waste my singing on a speed song, right? It's just a buff here. It's a 5-minute duration now, so it's fantastic. But everything else is the same. The melody just kind of takes care of it. So we'll just go ahead and target this guy and sing the melody, right? You can kind of watch how this works, right? It goes chant the flame. The 2 flame buffs pop on, and then goes into the chorus, and then it goes into the chant for poison, haste, and then back into another chant, right? So this is how I play my level 125 bard, and I feel like it maximizes her DPS. Now we don't have all the AAs that I have at 125. So you can see there that like some of them start to fall off, and then they get refreshed as it gets to the end of the melody here. Right now, I'm not doing some other support songs I could probably do, like the proc buff anymore. I feel like this is going to outweigh the proc damage that the pets would do, because if we take a look at the actual spell damage here, I don't know why I didn't click that on. Each of these chants does 2,000 a tick. And they crit for 4,600. Now, one could argue that, dots aren't going to do much damage because I'm killing stuff so fast. But when you're fighting yellow mobs like I am, the mobs are actually lasting a little longer. Now that I'm in House of Thule, I can actually see the value in having some of these dots like this going on here, and the extra damage this is providing via the bard, as the bard was doing hardly anything. Now, if I do not position the bard, so like I play from the Shadow Knight, and the only time that the bard will do melee damage is if she's on auto follow and I don't position her, right? So this gives the bard damage without me having to do anything, right? She can just stand there and look pretty and sing some songs, and it works out really well. Like this is not bad damage. If we compare it to her melee damage, right? Stand behind this is like a level 70 mob, so I mean, her melee damage is like almost terrible, I would say, like 390. The Shadow Knight's hitting for significantly more damage than this, so it is what it is melee wise. Like if I get her doing both like I am right now, that is a lot of damage coming out of the bard. In the level 85 video, I'll make sure to turn on the parsers and all that stuff. I got to update it and get that going so we can actually see some numbers here and see how well this is actually working. But it works well for me, and that's it's really like the most important thing, right? If I like it, is how I do it. But yeah, that's how I do it right there. So that's the melody. It just repeats those over and over again. winding, weaving the chance inside of every single thing, right? The spell set is probably going to stay like this. We're just going to update it probably all the way to 125. There might be a few spells we change in and out because we will get an AA Invis, so that'll free up one spell slot. We will get another spell slot, so that's 2 more spell slots that we can think about putting different things in later on. But yeah, and then in the multi-bind, this has changed slightly. I guess one other thing I should mention real quick, we did get double attack at level 75. It's got a terrible cap right now at 50, but we did get it eventually. I was worried there for a minute we would never get it. But Boastful Bellow is in the multi-bind now, so this does 5,000 damage, stuns the target, and then a 100% chance to do 17,000 damage after 18 seconds. So pretty crazy. Bladed Song is the next one I have in here. Causes the target to take 110 damage every time they hit the tank, or they hit anybody, actually, honestly. So that's nice. And then Cacophony, we have what does this do? 500 damage, then 900 damage over time. Another great ability. This is a 10-minute reuse, but I just burn them all on cooldown. Song of Stone, this is a 30-minute cooldown, but it is summons 3 level 77 gargoyles. So it's just more swarm pets to boost mage damage, honestly. So it's nice. I do it on cooldown. Fierce Eye is a more of a burn ability, but I do it on cooldown. This increases melee damage by 20%, critical damage by 20%, triggers weapon effects by 300%, and increases the chance your damage and healing spells will be critical by 10%. We got this as 76. I didn't notice it until level 80. But this is phenomenal ability to boost the ADPS of the group a lot. And I do it on cooldown. It's a 10-minute reuse. Might as well. Lasts for 1 minute. Now, if we're doing like a mission, or I'm planning to do a mission, it's just going to make the mission go faster. And if it's one of the missions like say it's Zendikar, or what is another one? One of the other ones where you spawn into a boss, and you kill that boss, then it's perfect, because I want to burn it as soon as possible anyway, so might as well put it in the multi-bind, right? And then we have Quick Time, which increases the all group members, increases attack power by 540, 36 extra accuracy, and reduces the weapon delay by 4.5% for 2 minutes. I feel like there's something else that it adds eventually. Like, I think it speeds up spells too, from what I understand. I think at 125. I just can't remember. I'd have to go look at my other bard. But phenomenal spell here. Again, it is a 15-minute reuse, but it's a 2-minute duration. I just do it on cooldown. Otherwise, I won't use it, right? You know how you play some games and you collect a potion, and then you save all the potions, and then you never use the potions? Yeah, well, that's what happens if you don't use things. And so I started using things on cooldown just because that is the best way to do it for me, right? You might have a different view, but for me, it works the best. So that is the multi-bind that I'm currently running. I don't really see it changing too much. I think there's 1 or 2 other abilities I'll put in there eventually. But for the most part, I do everything on cooldown, so it just works the best there. These burn buttons will eventually get populated with things, and then we'll talk about things we'll do only during burn versus things we do on cooldown. Let's see here. That's all that. Everything else stays the same. I did clean this up a little bit so I could lull if I wanted to, and then pull immediately without having to do some switcheroo around here, stuff like that. And then I have all the things over here. These are all going to be what will eventually be the list of burns that we do. And then you'll see that like FreeSci and QuickTime are there right now, but I don't need to put them into the burn buttons that I have here because they will be activated automatically. And then everything else we use normally. We do get this ability here, Dirge of the Sleepwalker, which is a really nice song. If you're playing a bard as a solo character and this is your only thing, this is a nice spell because it lets you mez something on a 10-minute cooldown for 1 minute, but you have to keep it targeted so that it'll actually do it, right? So you have to stay on that, focused on that mob, which I tried using this a few times the way I do mezzing, right? Where I do it like this. I had it in the macro sometimes before, and it just never worked out really well for me that way. So I think it really requires you to really pay attention and use, play the bard without multi-boxing. I feel like that's the best way to use it. But I mean, it works. It is what it is. And then the aura, I'm using Aura of the Artist, as I said, and it's just a button to click it and turn it on. And then I have these buttons for later on. All right, that is everything there. Gear-wise, gear. So my plan was to do all the TBM gear, but upgrading all these slots is so tedious, right? I think I bought 19 or 20 augs, 40 augs, because I bought 40 solvents, and he used them all on my Shadow Knight. And that's how many, it took me 40 solvents to replace all the augs and all the gear, right? That's 40 plus clicks just to switch out the gear. Now times that by 6, times, like by each character, right, that I play, it's just too much effort for me to pull forth, right? I went from 80 or 75 to 80 in less than like 4 hours played, right? Like it wasn't worth the effort. It was not worth the effort. But at 75, I went ahead and geared up the bard, so she's wearing full level 75 TBM gear. Now, I don't plan on continuing and doing it with the bard. I plan on selling all this back to the vendor here as soon as we get into the House of Thule more, and we start getting the House of Thule armor. Now, with that said, I might have a full set of House of Thule armor that I will just put on her because I think I already have it. I just need to look on my other characters and find it. But that would be where I go at a level 80 is House of Thule tier 1 gear. And then from there, I would probably level that up to, as I get to level 90, to the tier 4 version over time, or just going straight and buying it from the vendor in West Corona for what is it? What expansion is that? My mind is gone. Call of the Forsaken. Yeah. So the West Corona Ethereum version of it has a vendor that sells all the House of Thule gear and weapons and all that junk. So something to keep in mind there. But then as we get into 85 plus, 90 and stuff like that, you kind of just follow the expansions at this point, right? You go from expansion to expansion to expansion. Some of them will overlap, like TBM overlaps back to 75 with the thing, but I can't do the progression for there because I've already done it on some of these characters, and it causes me a level discrepancy between them that I don't want to deal with right now. Yeah, so that is the bard. Like I feel like I'm enjoying the way this bard is going now. It's back to kind of like how I have my 125 bard, so it's feeling a little bit more familiar and a little bit more important, right? Because as before, like I was really only doing like 3 spells, and they were just haste and the aria, right? Now it's, I'm doing damage, getting stuff out there, and it's, starting to, shape into a fun character, right? I mean, we're getting 1,000 crits. Like, I mean, that's not too bad. Compared to other classes, it's, it's terrible, but compared to this one. It's not too bad. So definitely looking forward to how we progress this character. But that is what we've changed. Sorry, it was a little long, longer than normal, but a lot has changed since the last video. So definitely definitely worth checking out all the changes if you like them. But thank you very much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.